Welcome. This is Lauren, contributor to Great Black Speakers, and today I'm speaking with Monica May, radio host and speaker. Monica, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much, Lauren. It's so good to speak with you.
It is my pleasure to be speaking with you today. So, I've gotten a chance to get familiar with your background and what you do, but please give us an introduction of who you are.
You know what? I am about a 30-some-odd year broadcaster. I knew what I wanted to do when I was like in middle school, high school. I started pursuing it. College, I was okay with it. It was confirmed my first year, my freshman year. I was at an HBCU, and the English teacher told me what he wanted me to do. And he said, "I see you on television, or I can hear you on radio." Well, I tried both, and I found that I enjoyed radio better. So I've moved around the country a bit with it, and over the last 10 years have been the local host for both Tom Joyner and now Steve Harvey.
Wow, that's awesome. So what do you do as the radio host? You're speaking on different topics every day. How does that job work?
You know what, Lauren? What I have to do is keep the show local. I do their news and all of their insert comments for them, any public service announcements. You're having a conversation, and your job as the producer and host of that show is to make it seem as if Steve is right in the studio with you, and that nephew Tommy, when he went doing that laughing, laughing right along with him. It's just overextended theater of the mind, and I enjoy it.
Wow. When did you first know that you had a radio voice? Because I can tell by you talking, like it sounds very soothing. And I know that's something that you need in this industry. So when did you first know that you had the voice for this?
You're not going to believe this, because when I have been asked that question before, people are like, "Really?" I was in the second grade, and a boy named Charles asked if he could have my phone number. Or in second grade, you're not thinking like that.
Right.
I'm going to call to hear you talk. Can you imagine? In second grade? So I gave him my phone number. I asked my mom if it was okay. Gave him my number. And Lauren, we used to talk some afternoons, not often, but we used to talk, and that was the first time anybody ever told me anything about my voice, my speaking voice.
Wow. So I know you've worked for some of the larger radio institutions like Radio One. You've worked Atlanta. You've done some work with BET and like so many more. So why do you love radio?
I like radio because, well, I can tell you a funny story really quickly. Because you don't have to get up and get dressed. Not true. This radio station hired me to do their community affairs. That means that I have to be the face for the station. And it's Star 94.5. So our community outreach is called Star Cares. So believe it or not, I get up early enough to get made up every day, even radio. But the premise of me wanting to do radio is because it's very now. Once you say it, it's done. It's not like television. With BET, it would take 2 hours to take 2 seconds.
Wow.
I don't have that kind of patience, nor that desire, but I love the interview process. So with radio, I get to do interviews. I do our weekly commentary on whatever's happening. And I get to interact with listeners every day, and I think that's the cool part of it for me. And so the funny story was, I typically do get up in enough time to get made up, dressed up. Well, today, guess what happened?
What happened?
In sweat. I'm hardly ever in sweat, sneakers, and a t-shirt. No, careful. And guess who walks in the studio?
Uh-oh. Who?
Damon John.
Oh my goodness. And you're in sweats?
Sweats. I'm in sweats. But, thankfully, it's just like I said. I said, what, I don't ever come to work like this. So, and I went back on the radio and I said, y'all know how I tell y'all that I get up typically early to do this whole dress up, get beat up?
Yeah.
Today, and guess what?
Oh my goodness.
Hardly ever get caught like that, but I got caught today, and it happens.
Caught by the shark.
But I love Damon.
Yeah. He's a nice guy. I haven't met him, but I've heard great things about him here in Vegas when he comes to visit. Yeah, very informational and intelligent man. So you were one of the very few people after graduating from college to actually get into the industry that you desired, right, and that you studied. What would be the advice that you would give to the aspiring college student or the recent graduate that's entering the workforce? How did you do it?
I have an intern with me every 6 months. We turn them over about every 6 to 9 months, and I've done that for the last 10 years since I've been here, and even longer in other cities. You got to know that this is what you really want to do, first of all, because it's not that easy, especially if you do morning drive, and if you get into it, you want to make some money in it. That's the drive time to go after. I say to them, I knew back in, like I said, middle school, high school, it was what I wanted to do. Confirmation came my freshman year of college. Everything after that was so driven. Worked at the radio station, was the only black female that worked there. I worked at a television station in Rochester, New York, was the only sister there. I've been the only at many situations. And you just go and you do and you give them who you are. And you just have to be built with confidence. And even when you're not feeling that confident, even when you don't think that you know all there is, be open, be ready with a smile, be ready to learn, but still maintain that air of, I got this, and that's what kept me going.
Awesome advice. I know that people need to hear that, especially with, your expertise in the industry. So you are a speaker with Great Black Speakers, and we are excited about that. And what I'd like to know is, I know you speak on teen empowerment. So can you tell us about some of the topics that you speak on and, what kind of audience you speak to?
If you don't mind, I want to just kind of read off a couple
Sure.
of because one of the things that I wanted to share is I have something called Let's Spill the Tea. And it's for mothers and daughters that are 14 to 21. And it teaches them how to have healthier communication relationships. And I do that based on how awful mine was. I was a horrible teenager. But if you can communicate wisely with your daughters, your past can help save their lives. So one of the things that I do. Some other topics that I do, the 7 laws of success. I talk about who moved my cheese, but I talk about it from a scholastic perspective. Like, you want to be able to chase this cheese, but you got to know what that cheese looks like for you. We do things like being a manager, not a mom, separating corporate from catty, because in a lot of instances, women can be uber catty in the workplace. So how do you circumvent all of that? Setting boundaries in the workplace. We have several chambers here, like the East Orlando Chamber of Commerce. Even hospitals have had to come in and speak to their employees about dealing with workplace boundaries and just the stresses of workplace environments. I talk about diversity in communication. How do you become resourceful? How did I become resourceful enough that this radio station would think to hire me from Houston, Texas? They brought me back here from Houston, Texas.
Wow.
Just resources that I have. Resources, segues, relationships. That's it. How to develop those relationships.
That's awesome. Yeah, so continue to tell me more about your topics.
Well, one of the things, I think you call it the resourceful. How do you become resourceful? It just means getting out and knowing your community, knowing your neighbors, knowing some of the answers to questions that you even have, research and getting on the computer. I do this thing called a teen letter, and it just tells my life as a teenager till now, and it goes through all of the pitfalls, the valley times, and you never know that it's me until the very end.
Oh,
It's like book based on that teen letter. So I do that. Living with integrity. How do you do that? How do you set your child up so that they can be successful in who they are? Their brand, developing your brand for helping them develop their brand. Another one is called Freshman Focus. Freshman Focus, Lauren, was based on some really hard things that were happening here in town with some freshman girls at what's called the ninth grade center. There was a school here that had to be converted, where all of the students, 10th, 11th, and 12th, had to move back into the ninth grade environment. Very small, a lot of stressors there, and the girls in particular were not getting along. And the incident led to something that was very violent. And I took a group of women, and we sat on some bar stools. I took attorney Natalie Jackson. Have you ever heard of her?
I have, yeah.
She's a strong activist.
Yeah.
And just say that. About 4 women with me. And we just did a heart-to-heart on these girls about finding their peace within, about finding out who they are, about learning how life is not always going to be great every day. How do you make it work for you that day?
Wow.
It's how to do one day at a time. When they have those volatile personalities, was all it took for them to be able to make it through until the school that all those other students came from was actually rebuilt and those students could leave. But it was just about stepping on each other's toes, literally. That freshman focus came from that. And then it branched off into, I do it for a lot of high school seniors now. How are you going to be that new person on the campus? You've been the big man or the big girl for the last 3 years. Now you're going to be the little girl on the totem pole. How do you find your foothold there? So I tailor it for, I've done it for FAMU, I've done it for several schools. So I just like kids.
Yeah.
And then kids and women. Talk to everybody, but kids and women.
Yeah, that's such a powerful message, you know, especially for teens in our day and age with so many different challenges coming their way. I mean, you've got a personality on social media, then you've got a personality in person, and it's you know, bringing together those two aspects of this growing and developing person. So it's very important, you know, what you've done. I definitely applaud you bringing those women together. That's certainly something that needs to be done in all of our communities with our young women, putting those role models in front of them, especially the powerful ones that you put together, including yourself. So great job. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you were telling me about Spill the Tea. And I really think that's a very cool initiative, and I really want to know more information. So give us more about Spill the Tea.
It came from me. It started out, I have a very dear friend who's positive, HIV positive.
Okay.
She chose to do it in the month of March for Women and Daughter HIV awareness. It's time we got ready to do it, she wasn't feeling well. So I decided to go ahead one year and put it together. And when I stood back and watched it, I said, you know what? I don't only want to focus on HIV. Love it. And it's part of the topic that I've included. But it all starts with healthier communication. How do I get moms to open up to their girls about some of the things that they did? And when I say that, it's just like, man, you are... And as little girls, we want to be just like mom. So we're looking at her, we put her on the pedestal. But if she falls off, it's so hard on those girls. So why not take yourself off of it? And just, you know, be naked with your kids, especially your girls. What I've done with this whole thing is just, instead of just focusing in on one thing, I just talk about healthy relationships. And it starts with communication. It starts with honest talk. That's what came up with that Spill the Tea. You know how grandma used to sit on the porch and just with some lemonade or tea, spill gossip. Let me give you the tea on so and so and so. That means they got the story. I just figured it was a colloquialism that has withstood the time. So it just clicked, and that's what I call every workshop that I do that focuses in on that. So my fiance is a caterer, so he does a nice breakfast for us, and we have a beautiful setting, and everything is just very calm. And the counselors sit amongst the people, and you know that they are that they're there only at the very end.
Wow.
I open you up and they're the ones that can put you back together. And then they do some forward counseling or some after counseling, I should say. Because I'm not a counselor.
That sounds beautiful. So how often do you do that event?
You know what? It started out just being done during the month of March. But I've gotten requests to do it throughout the year. I've done it at Tom Joyner's family reunion a couple of times. And I've done it in a panel where we had James Brown's daughter on it. We've had Dr. Yama Brown was on it. Simple Kane did it with me one time. Dia Direct was on it. And Dia is one of Tom's producers. There have been several ways that I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very famous dancer, choreographer from California, who actually lived here for a long time. And I never knew the struggles that she had as a young person. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, God, I couldn't put my finger on what God has given me that gives people the ability to want to open up, to just share. And it's a lot of emotion that goes into this thing. So I do it whenever someone asks. It's not a nonprofit or anything. I'm thinking about turning it into one. Mm-hmm. But George and I do it out of our pockets. It's just a way to give back.
Yeah, what a wonderful way to give back. So, I'm aware that you're involved in Star Cares and you obviously have, teens at your heart. What are some of the community associations that you have, or what are the causes that are dear to your heart?
I am a part of the YMCA Teen Achievers, and these are teens that they take from that want to achieve. I put it like that. Because today you do have some kids that are very stuck on being at that lower echelon, and those are the ones that I reach for. But the YMCA Teen Achievers takes kids who are mediocre. We do things with them all year round. We bring speakers to them. We take them on trips. We do college tours. So that's one area. UNCF, I'm on their board for education. I am also on it's called Black Advisory Council. And it's a group of community members that work towards raising funds for scholarships for one of the colleges here, Valencia College. So I do that. I'm on the Orange County Drug Free Coalition. And what we do with that is and I'm on the education component. Where we do everything that can get the word out about drugs in our community to your parents. And I know about the 3-4 boards that I sit on, but the other things that I volunteer with, I'm not Haitian, but I love the Haitian community, so I'm always doing things with them. And any time that there's something going on at Family Law Center, I'm there. So I just try to be an advocate or available for my community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I certainly have been privileged to speak with you today and learn more about all of your accomplishments and what you have in store. So I'm certain that after these interviews and, the people that are watching will be like, yeah, we want to bring Monica in. We definitely want to bring her in to speak.
If I can just add something, I've been asking the universe or my God for opportunities. And Christmas Day, my daughter blessed me with an opportunity to be enrolled with Great Black Speakers. That was one way of him answering. Another way was the movie Skinned.
Yes.
That point. Yeah. Well, the writer contacted me and just said, my sister-in-law is in that town. She's spoken about you. What can I do in Central Florida? So we're trying to find a way to bring an opportunity to view that movie. And then the Florida Council Against Domestic Violence just called me and asked me to become one of their keynotes statewide, possibly, to talk about violence. So I'm overwhelmed with the opportunities that are coming my way as I become this great black speaker. I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. So,
ask and you shall receive, right?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put it into the universe. Well, Monica, what's that?
So that's who I am.
It has been a pleasure and a privilege. Tell us where we can find your information, any social media, your website, what channel you're on the radio, and where you are.
Alright. I'm here in Orlando at Star 94.5. You can get a lot of information if you just Google Monica May. Also, I have Monica May Communications. That's my website. And then Gmail is askmonica@gmail.com.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I hope that we are able to get you out here in the near future to audiences that will rave about your speeches.
Lord,
Thank you.